So welcome to Talking Politics. With me today is Kun Kannavee Suebsaeng, the Secretary General and the only MP of Pen Tham or Fair Party, one of the 8 parties in the coalition that Kun Pitha Limjaroenrat, leader of the Move Forward Party, is forming. As we all know, Kun Pitha is now on his way to becoming the next Prime Minister of Thailand. So thank you for joining us. So it was already a big surprise when the Move Forward Party emerged as the biggest winner in the election, right? But Kun Pitha sprang another surprise when he announced at the press conference that he was inviting Pen Tham Fair Party, your party, to join his coalition, the coalition he was forming, despite the fact that your party has only one MP, and that is you. So what did Kun Pitha say to you and your executives when he called and said, "Oh, we want you on board"? What did he say?
So he didn't call, by the way, Kun Suebsaeng. He didn't call, but when we knew that he inviting us to join to be government during the same time as the public knows about the
from TV.
From TV. So because that night on the 14th, so it's election the result, the unofficial results came out. So we spent like until 4 o'clock in the morning. Until in the morning, so many people send me messages and said, "Hey, someone calling you? Pitha call you, or Kun Tom, the section of the Khao Kai party call you?" I said, "No, I didn't know." So he said, "Turn on the TV." So when I turn on TV, Kun Pitha literally obviously said, "Okay, we are contacting Pen Tham party to join us," and then said, "Oh, come to a big surprise." In fact, it's not a surprise. I would like to say,
but you were in communication with him before, right?
No, never.
Not in any way.
No. But we know each other in terms of the work that we have done. So we have been doing our campaigns in the southernmost provinces of Thailand. So Pattani again. So we have been in the same stage and debate about how to create sustainable peace in the southern Thailand. So that's how we know each other.
I see.
But before that, we never discussed, never talked.
So do you think that is what you and Kun Pitha have in common, the policy toward southern Thailand, right?
Yes.
So that could be the main reason why he wants your party to join the coalition.
That could be. Another one is because Pen Tham party, we are focusing on human rights situation, humanitarian issue, and try to bring the right-based approach to be the integral part of our policy. So our policy is established by the voices of the people, by the needs of the people and the gaps in the area. So that's why maybe this is the thing that we have in common between Khao Kai party and Pen Tham party.
I see. In fact, your party, Pen Tham party, has a policy that covers a wide range of issues, right?
Yes.
With some elements of populism there, some subsidies, some welfare, the benefits, right? But the focus has always been on your policy toward southern Thailand. So can you tell us what is your exactly aim to achieve in the south?
So we would like to tell Thai people that if the peace has been established in the southern Thailand, peace is not only just only in the southern Thailand, but it's all over the country. So now democracy is the most important. So if we can establish peace in the 3 southernmost provinces of Thailand, we can establish the peace throughout the country by having democracy as the core value of all. So this is what we try to achieve, and to start from southern Thailand, to start from Pattani, because if we could start there, it could be applicable to other areas of Thailand as well.
Okay, but your critics see your policy towards southern Thailand as being a little bit radical, right? Because before the election, you called for an abolition of all laws related to security and being implemented in the south. And you called for a dismantling of agencies like the Internal Security Operations Command and SOBT, which is the main agency dealing with the situation in southern Thailand. But when the MOU, right? The MOU is the sort of the public commitment made by the 8 parties, which are the potential partners in coalition, was issued. There is one point that deals with the South, but it's the toned down version of it. It doesn't really mention about dismantling all these agencies or laws, but it does call for a review of the mission of agencies and laws related to the region. So what do you want to see happen with this kind of commitment?
First and foremost, we are not radical. We are practical. So this is what I have to say. So we are practical in terms of we try to bring the policy that can be implemented for the benefit of the people. And so in terms of the MOU, we discussed several times with all the 8 parties among us all that MOU must be there are 3 elements for the MOU. First one must be easy to understand. Second one must be comprehensive. And the last but not least is to be directive. We need to have this kind of MOU. Therefore, in terms of dismantling or just take away the ISOC and Sobator, we're not going to put into the MOU yet. We will, when we draft the policy for the government, we will put these 2 elements into the policy, the government policy.
Now, one phrase that you have been using to drive home what you want to see in the South is to bring home our soldiers, right? So it has been interpreted as that you want to end all the missions of all the soldiers being stationed in the South. So do you really want all soldiers to disappear from the region?
Not only bringing the military back home, but we want to clear the road from these security checkpoints that we have 1,800 plus security checkpoint in the southern in Pattani. So these 2 policies or these 2 programs that we put into our campaigns is the indicators, the best indicators about establishing sustainable peace. If we could establish a sustainable peace in the southern Thailand, for sure, first, all the military that been deployed in the southern Thailand, they will be returned home. So no one want to stay there, believe it or not, because I've been there. I talk to the military. I come from the security background, so I know the mentality of the people, mentality of the military. No one want to be in the southern because of this situation. But if we could establish sustainable peace, these 2 indicators will be the one that we can say that this is our achievements. This can be already established the peace in the southern Thailand.
Now, I'm sure you and your colleagues have done a lot of homework before you came up with this policy, right? So what is your roadmap? How do you start? What is your first step?
The first step, we proposing the peace building process in a practical way. We have 3 pillars. The first pillar is to escalate the peace building process into the national level. Because in the past, we haven't seen for many decades, we haven't seen that the government have been sincere enough to think about establishing peace in the southern as a national agenda. So we have seen that all the government just put the situation and the scenario of the Pattani just only in the local area. They try to solve the problem by using the local mechanism, especially using the security apparatus, especially the military. So that is wrong. So we have to bring the situation up to the national level, to the parliamentary level. So we have to discuss in the parliament about the situation in the southern Thailand. And in the same pillar, we proposing drafting acts about the peace building. And also we have to provide immunity from the discussion between the Thai government and also BIN. So we have to give the immunity for the BIN, for the representative of the other discusser to come to Thailand officially. So otherwise, if there's no immunity, they cannot be present in Thailand. They cannot let the people, the local people, to look at them and say, oh, you are my representative. We have to give them immunity. So that's the first pillar that we're proposing. Second pillar is about freedom of speech. Freedom and it's a basic human rights, it's natural right of the people. We need to provide public spaces for people, local people, to talk about many things. That the government shall not close the mouth of the people by using some article under the constitution, under the law, what they call quote-unquote special laws in the southern Thailand, especially the Article 113, Article 116, and 215, including all the special security law, the act, the Security Act, and also the emergency decree, and also the martial law. So these are all the laws and also the procedure that close the freedom of speech and how people gather together and share the idea have to be thrown away.
see.
So the last pillar that we are proposing is about restructuring the
see.
governance system in the southern
I
Thailand.
see.
So especially in terms of the distribution of power into the local level, and that's what we try to propose, and including dismantling ISOC and also Soobata.
Okay. But that would be a big challenge. You have to convince the military, the security agencies to go along, right?
Yes.
You think that that's something that is possible?
It's possible. I think that now we have the government, the democracy here. So I believe that democracy will bring peace, sustainable peace.
I see.
And all the military or security agency will understand. They understand. They know how to work on it.
Now, if all the objectives that you just mentioned are achieved, so how would you imagine the type of governance that will be in that region?
The governance system in this not only in Pattani region, but we're looking at the border areas. We have 31 border provinces and 23 provinces that adjacent to the sea and the ocean. So we start from the border. We try to imitate the governance system from Bangkok and also Pattaya to the border area, because we have studied that we have the border trade and the cross-border trades that have a value of 1.7 million baht per year. So this one can be, if we can do some taxation and we can manage ourselves along the border, that could be a good start from our proposal.
But do you think you can convince all these armed groups, the insurgents, seeking separation of the region? Do you think you can convince them to come along?
I believe so, because one thing that I haven't informed you yet, Khun Thepchai. Before the election, there is a sign in the southern in Pattani. They said, peace equal democracy, democracy equal peace, sustainable peace. I believe that this how can I say, this image, this idea, this the standpoint of the BIN of the another group, they come to democracy rather than fighting. No one wants to fight in the southern. Yep.
But as you know, that there has been an ongoing peace dialogue process being facilitated by Malaysia. Do you think this process is compatible with your peace initiative?
It's not compatible, and it's not practical as well, because we start from the wrong idea. So I think that
how? Why is it wrong?
The hypothesis of having this peace dialogue that the Thai government have is just only having people who hold the weapons to sit down together in international arena, in international community. When we try to build the peace for any location, we never ever ask the people who have weapons to sit down and talk and come with the sustainable peace. People who've been impacted by situation have to be the one who lead the dialogue, have to be the one who tell both the government and also the other side that this is what we need. We would like to see direction of our improvement, of our social improvement, economic improvement, and our life. I want this, I want that, not the people who not yet the real representations of the people.
But do you think it should stop or continue or be adjusted in any way?
We have to revamp. We will revamp. We will.
But you would welcome the Malaysians' participation in helping bring about peace in the region.
But not as a facilitator, because now we have to see that Thailand and Malaysia, we have the border adjacent to each other. So there might be some bias towards how to facilitate.
Conflict of interest.
Exactly. We need to move beyond this kind of the bilateral agreement between the Thai government and the Malaysian government. We can look at the possibility of bringing ASEAN, the ASEAN framework, and look at the members of the ASEAN to be facilitators who has experiences in terms of building peace, especially Indonesia, for example. We can invite Indonesian government to send some facilitator instead of the facilitator from Malaysia. And however, we still need to cooperate with the Malaysian government for sure. The Malaysian, the Prime Minister of Malaysia, he also really welcome.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
said he's more than happy to help Thailand achieve peace in the region. Right?
Yeah.
So if you can convey some message to him, what would you say to Anwar Ibrahim?
Said, please continue supporting us,
Okay.
supporting the peace in the southern, in Pattani, because we need support from Malaysia. Malaysia has been the host country to host more than 100,000 of the people from Pattani. So now they are working in the Tom Yam Kung restaurant,
Yeah.
and many people be there. Now people want to return home. Malaysia have been a good host, and many times they support us a lot. However, now we have democratic government from Thailand. We can work together more and more, but not as facilitator.
Now, before jumping into politics, you had a very interesting career life, and you worked with the National Security Council before becoming a field officer of the UNHCR, the UN High Commissioner for Refugees, right? Looking after all displaced persons all over the world. And you spent time in Sudan, in Chad, in Uganda, in Bangladesh, and in Myanmar. So all these countries were countries that we all know that they have been beset with civil unrest, wars. I'm sure that the experience you had from serving this country must have some kind of influence on your political thinking. Right?
I think my work experience in work with humanitarian community is not only have influence but also impacts onto how I look at the politics in Thailand, becoming politician in Thailand, because in those countries, South Sudan, Bangladesh, Chad, Uganda, the Philippines, Myanmar, these countries have taught me a lot how to adhere myself to the humanitarian principle, because we have been working in the middle of the war. So we have to adhere ourselves strictly with our principle, humanitarian principle. There are 4 humanitarian principles. The first one, humanity. We need to look at our people, person of concern, as the core value of any drafting the program, policy, everything, because we will not be dictated by many other influences. We have to look at people, person of concern, that humanity. The second one is impartiality. We have to be impartial. We cannot take sides with anyone. The third one, neutrality. We have to be neutral, but in working in the humanitarian world, in working in the war zone, if we're not neutral, trouble will come to us. The last one, independence. This last one, we have to strictly adhere our core value in independence, in working, in implementing our project and program. Without independence, we cannot survive. So therefore, these 4 principles of humanitarian, I take it seriously. And I will bring these 4 principles, humanitarian principles, to lead politics in Thailand. And I believe that these 4 principles of humanitarian can establish democracy into Thailand, can put the soil to be firm enough for us to move forward.
So thank you very much, and all the best to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.